Okay, guys, I have been in a slump when it comes to doing readings. I have all these ideas that I had planned out for like months in advance, and for whatever reason, I'm just not feeling them. I'm not feeling inspired by them. And I really wanted to film a reading today, but I couldn't decide on which one. So, what we're going to do today is just kind of like a freestyle. So, I wanted to sit down and physically get myself on camera to motivate me to actually get my butt in the seat and do this reading. And we're just going to kind of see what the cards have to say. And we'll go from there. This might be a pick a card. Yeah, I feel like it will. I feel like it will be a pick a card. Because I was just going to do like a reading, like a general collective reading. But I feel like I want to do a pick a card. So I'm going to use the Final Rose Tarot. It's kind of like my go-to right now. I don't know why. I'm just really vibing with this deck. And let's pull out 3 cards. Okay, I see this one kind of falling off the top. Okay, so we got 1 and... no, that's too many. Oh, but they do want that one that was on the bottom. Okay. And we'll get the 3rd one. Ooh, it's that one there. Okay. So let's see. For group 1, the card is Quality Time. Okay, so you guys know what to do. If you see the card you want to choose, you have got the timestamps below. The group number 2 card is Sent Home, with that lightning bolt reminding me of David Bowie. Okay, random. And group 3, we have The Late Bloomer. Okay, so select whichever card feels like it's calling to you, and then use the timestamps to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings, and we'll just see what comes up. Take what messages resonate, leave the rest. It's a general reading, and we'll see you there. All right, hi group number 1. If you chose Quality Time, you are at your reading, and this is going to be an unexpected reading. I don't know what the messages are going to be. We don't have a topic or theme, so we're just going to pull from some decks that I felt called to. And the first one is the Wisdom of the Oracle. So let's take a look and see what messages Spirit wants you to know right now. What you're being guided to spend quality time on, or who you are being guided to spend quality time with. And those, okay, so we've got 4. We'll start with that. All right, you have Serendipity. This is, yeah, okay. You know, when I think of serendipity, I think of timing. And since you chose this one that has this like pocket watch in the shape of a heart, serendipity is also usually associated with romance. Because as soon as I saw that, I was like, luck, timing, and romance. So let's take a look. You also have Come to the Edge. Ooh, something is about to pop off, is what Spirit just said. It's about to pop off. Something is... it's kind of forcing you to the edge of your comfort zone. Maybe you're getting that intuitive nudge to go somewhere or do something, or yeah, it's like I'm getting this energy of commitment, like committing time to something or someone that you normally wouldn't. Okay, so it is bringing you to the edge of your comfort zone, but ultimately it's good luck in some way. Yeah. And you have To the Sea as well. And your last oracle card is Observer. Okay. So group number 1. I feel like you've been kind of sitting back and watching things unfold. I'm getting this feeling of like you observing, sitting back and watching things unfold, trying to get... an idea of what's going on. You've got these 2 cards that both, in one we've got the telescope, and in the other she's got binoculars on the boat there. So there's something about like looking off into the distance and maybe even trying to see what's going to come up or what's going to happen. I mean, you are in a tarot reading, so you know, we do like future predictions and stuff like that. So that could be what you're doing, is like looking for indications of what the future holds for you. What I'm seeing though is that it's very much about divine timing. So I don't think that you can necessarily predict what is going to come. And even if it was to be predicted, like right out in your face, this is what's happening, this is when it's going to happen, I don't think that it would come true come true in the sense that it would be exactly as it was predicted. I'm feeling like you've been getting these messages about when and who and where and how and why. And Spirit is kind of saying that all of this sitting back and observing is actually part of a much larger lesson teaching you about how you spend your time. And when you spend your time focusing on what has not come to fruition yet, and you neglect what you need to do right now, you're kind of setting yourself back. This is not the message that I was expecting to get from this reading, but that's what it is. And they're saying that they want you to come to the edge and just trust the natural timing of events in your life. Like, let go of the attachment to a prescribed timeline and just let things unfold. Stop diving into the details. Stop trying to find out what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. Just dedicate your time right now to doing what you feel like you need to be doing. Something that's actually productive, because you want to ask yourself, what is this doing for me? How is this serving me? What is the outcome of me investing this time and energy and focus in observing these types of things? Like, if it's showing you pattern recognition, if it's showing you how to trust your intuition and to discern, then great. But I'm seeing in these cards that the luck is actually going to come when you get out of your comfort zone and just surrender and trust. And it's a bit of a challenging thing to do. That's why they're saying, you got to come to the edge, group number 1, because it is a bit of a free fall. It's like a leap of faith. It's a trust fall. That's what they just said. Yeah. And they showed me somebody like falling backwards like that. Yeah. So there's definitely time to spare. Okay. They want you to stop worrying about the timing. They want you to instead focus your attention and intention on what next best practical actionable steps are that you can take right now, and to bring your focus back to the present moment, to be mindful, to take action in a way that feels empowered and aligned for you. That's really what I'm seeing here. Let me see if there's anything else they want to say. I do want to grab the coffee cup oracle, so let's do that. So for group number 1, Spirit, what else do they need to know about this? Oh, yeah. 2 and 3. Oh, there's 4. Surprise, there's 4. Okay, it's luck, money, and coins. So this could be to do with your money. You could be kind of like, when is the money going to come in? When am I going to get that raise? When am I going to book that deal? When am I going to have the finances to be able to do this, and this? And they're saying, again, like you've just kind of got to focus on what you are practically doing right now to bring that in and keep your focus there. Like, don't take your eyes off of what you're trying to create by looking at the future of when it's going to happen or trying to predict. Like, basically just really get grounded in the here and now. That's actually what's going to help you bring this luck and money in, because I do see luck. You've got serendipity and luck money with coins. So you have good timing here. You've just got to trust that the universe is working in this very intricate divine order, that your human will only really mess up if you knew exactly when it was going to happen. And I don't mean that as like the human is just bumbling around through and the divine part of you is like, oh, we can't tell her much because she's just going to mess it up, or he's just going to mess it up. No, that's not what I mean. I don't mean to belittle your own free will. What I mean is that sometimes in an effort to help ourselves, the ego, out of fear or out of scarcity or, something else like that, out of attachment, it will look for these concrete sort of anchor points or guideposts to make itself feel safer. But in doing so, it can be distracting and it can be limiting and it can be ultimately unhelpful or unproductive. Actually, counterproductive is what Spirit just said. So that's why sometimes it's better that you don't know. Sometimes it's better that you just go with what feels right in the moment. And that doesn't mean you can't plan for the future, especially when we're talking about coins and money. things like that here. So yeah, invest your time and your focus on doing practical things in your daily life that will support your long-term goals financially, or also love. It's both here, but they're separate. Or they may be combined for some of you. I don't know, like marriage, money, and love together in one. I don't know. But yeah, it feels like you kind of need to just be very practical and grounded about this. And instead of sitting back and trying to get the answers, just do what you can now to support your goals. And then you have Scarab, Nourishment and Transformation. This card has been coming out so much in so many of the readings since I got this deck. Thank you to the subscriber who sent these in to us using my Amazon wish list, which is always in the description box below. So Scarab with Nourishment and Transformation here, I feel like the more that you can nourish yourself in the moment, the easier it's going to be for you to feel what the next best step is. So I think that's where quality time comes back in. It's like quality time with yourself, quality time. I need to rest my arm when I hold these up, or otherwise my hand shakes. Quality time with yourself, quality time dedicating yourself to your goals, quality time focusing on practical, actionable steps. They're really emphasizing that. Practical steps rather than kind of sitting back and trying to gauge what's going to happen. We have Moose, Acceptance, and Eccentric. Ooh. So I feel like this is about acceptance of things being the way that they are, changing what you can change, and then surrendering to what you can't. And when it comes to divine timing, you really can't change that. You can, because you have free will, but you want to use it as effectively as possible, is what Spirit just said. You want to use it as effectively as possible, which means surrendering. Because your free will, when surrendered and combined with your higher will, is much better at getting you to where you want to go. So the more that you can use your own human, egoic free will to say, I trust you, because that is a free will choice. You being the universe, God, your angels, your guides, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, them, they. It's being able to surrender and give up so that you can go forward. Does that make sense? You're not giving up on yourself. You're not giving up on what you want to create. And you're not giving up your sovereignty or your power or your free will. You're making a conscious and wise decision to trust in the part of you that sees more than this part of you does. And that is going to bring you a lot of luck. And then we have, look at this, triangle with choices and indecision. Choices and indecision. I think that's why you've been sitting back and observing group number one. Maybe you've been kind of seeing what your options were, trying to make a choice, trying to decide what to do. And sometimes that's the wise thing to do, right? You don't want to leap in unprepared. You don't want to act recklessly or make decisions that would set you back in the long run. What I'm seeing here, though, is that you may have gone into like possibility paralysis, where you're analyzing things to such a degree that it's actually preventing you from doing anything at all. And that's why they're saying come to the edge, because it's time now to follow your intuition. And you don't have to know where it's leading you or what the outcome will be. As long as you trust and have faith and you make that move, things are going to unfold. They just brought me to the nourishment message on the Scarab card. So things are going to unfold in a way that is very nourishing for you. Spirit is going to make sure that all of your needs are met, is what they just said. So all you really need to do right now is spend quality time focusing on making this decision, taking whatever action you are called to in the moment. It doesn't have to be the ultimate goal-oriented action. It can just be, what's the next best move, right? What's the next thing that I can do to just kind of like break the seal a little bit on this possibility paralysis and this state of perpetual observation and indecision. So if you just kind of like, you break through that with one small choice, which could be simply to say, I choose to trust divine timing. and I'm just going to let go and accept that. Or I choose to surrender to the higher will for me in my life because I know that my higher self will always provide. My needs will always be met. I am protected. I am safe. I will live my best life by allowing myself to work through, or rather to have my higher self work through me. So I feel like the triangle is also about body, mind, and soul. It's the unification of the self, right? Because those are the different layers of the self. And when it comes to the triangle, it is about uniting these, right? It's getting everything on the same page, getting you and you on the same page, your body, your mind, and your soul on the same page. And so that's where I'm saying, like, if you can surrender to the higher will, things are going to move a little bit more smoothly. You're going to feel, you might still feel the fear. You might still feel the doubt. Your ego might still be looking for something to hold on to in regard to that feeling of like, let me know that this is going to be okay or that this is the right decision. But you've really just got to trust. Group number one, you've really just got to trust and let the current take you where it's trying to take you, all in good time, like all in good time. The currents are going to take you where you need to go, group number one. So you just kind of need to come to the edge and jump in the water and let it carry you, because I feel like you've been kind of standing there like, should I jump? Should I not jump? And they're showing me, if you've ever gone cliff jumping, I used to go cliff jumping a lot as a kid. There's some canyons nearby where I grew up. And, off of like a 30-foot jump, you stand there for a bit trying to decide, like, should I jump? Is it safe for me to jump? Is it too high? Am I going to hit a rock? There's a lot of things that go through your mind when you're standing on a cliff or on the precipice. And that's why they're like, we understand why you've been looking for answers. We understand why you've been hesitating. We understand why you've been kind of paralyzed in this possibility of what to do. But they're saying, it's going to be fine. Just like when I jumped off of those cliffs, I'm still here to talk about it. I didn't get hurt. And it was really fun. And I did it safely. Okay, so I don't recommend going on jumping off any cliffs. But, I was very well practiced at that. And there was a lot of professional people around and stuff like that. So it was safe. But it's just like that moment of screw it. I'm just going to do it. It's like, don't think, just do. That's being so present in the moment, while at the same time surrendering and trusting in God, source, higher self, whatever. And you take that leap, and then you're so proud of yourself because you're like, I did it. I'm safe and I had a great time. And then you feel more confident for next time because you followed through. So I think that is all Spirit wanted to say. Let me just see if there's any final closing messages for you, group one. They're saying that if there is a decision that you have been considering, and there's two options or more than two options, and one of them is kind of like the safe route or the predictable kind of conventional path, and one of them is a little bit out of left field or out of the box, or it's kind of like the road less traveled. They're saying take the road less traveled. So if you've been indecisive, follow your gut, because your gut knows that it wants to go down the path less traveled, but that's probably why you are kind of hesitating at the fork in the road. You're like, I feel like I want to go this way, but my mind and other people maybe are telling me go this way. So I think that's why there's like that internal conflict and that stopgap that is preventing you from moving forward. So I would say, again, trust in serendipity to guide you. You've got luck on your side here, no problem. And there's money to be had. If you can follow your own inner voice, listen to yourself and spend quality time, being mindful and present in the moment, because that's, again, it's going to help you to take action and get out of your head, because that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Group number 1 is to get out of your head. You've observed enough, you have enough information. More information will only muddle things. So now all you need to do is just listen to your body and trust your body. Because I know that, when I'm about to jump off of a high cliff, my mind is telling me, no, don't do that. My body is probably even telling me, no, don't do that. But I know that I'm going to be fine. And so if I tell my body to go, my body will listen and it will do it and it will trust me. So it's kind of like your body trusting you to make the decision, you trusting your higher self to have made this whole plan. Yeah. All right. So that is what I say for you, group number 1. There's no need to worry. There's no need to worry. Everything is going to happen exactly as it needs to. All you have to do is just kind of have a little faith, get outside your comfort zone, make a decision, take some action, stay in the moment, dedicate some quality time to yourself so that you feel more confident, or at least more courageous or connected to yourself as you kind of take that leap of faith. So yeah, let me know how it goes. All in good time is what they just said again. Yeah, all in good time. Okay. So that is what Spirit wanted you to know, group number 1. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your patience with me as I have been going through some mental health ups and downs with my ADHD. I love you guys. And if you're interested in finding out more about my ADHD or tracking my progress, I am posting videos and doing updates on my other channel, ADHD and Beyond, which is linked on the main page of my channel here. Okay, so I love you guys. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi, group number 2. You guys chose Sent Home. So if you guys chose this card, you are at your reading. Let's find out what Spirit wants to say to you. Sent Home. Okay, I'm feeling some stress here. I just got the message of a headache, so maybe you've been experiencing headaches or migraines or something like that. There's just kind of like something going on in your mind or in your brain. Sent home also makes me feel like there's some kind of almost like guilt or shame. Wow, we just had a bunch of cards fly out and I got like this weird rush of like panic. Okay, so there might even be like panic attacks or anxiety that you guys are dealing with. Maybe I was just talking about guilt and shame, and that can really trigger anxiety. As someone who lives with it, I totally understand. It just feels like there's pressure on you. Okay, let me look at these cards that we have. So we've got 3 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle. We'll get some coffee cup cards as well. Let's see, you have Never Ending Story. Okay, look at this. Both of these people are holding their heads, right? So there's definitely something going on here with the head. Headaches, migraines, stress, worry, panic. That's really what I'm picking up on. And it's coming from this feeling of like, it's never going to end. It just keeps looping back on itself. I do something and then it doesn't work and I'm at square one again. And it's so frustrating. I'm feeling like frustration and shame and worry and pain. Oh, I'm so sorry, group number 2. I totally understand, and I am there, so like I get it. Let's see what else. Ooh, okay, good. Higher power. Look at that. She's got that keyhole in her forehead and the light shining through. So definitely something to do, because all of 3 of these cards have had reference to the forehead. So this is something to do with the third eye. You might have some third eye awakening going on right now. That can also produce some pressure-like symptoms and headache-like stuff. It doesn't always necessarily have to be that, but I remember when I was first awakening my third eye, I started every time that I would do meditations specifically, and I would try to look clairvoyantly in the inside mind, I would get headaches, and it was like a pressure that kind of built up and it felt like my forehead was going to explode. But then as soon as I stopped meditating or kind of like came back into reality, it would stop. Now I get headaches for other reasons, but yeah, I'm seeing that there's like a key in your mind that is going to help you unlock something that is going to help you reduce some of this stress and to take some of the pressure off, is what Spirit just said, to take some of the pressure off. Okay. My nose runs when I channel, so that's, if you see me doing that, it's because my nose, it's like, I'm not sick or anything. It just always kind of like drips when I'm channeling. I don't know. Clean it up. Yeah, Shevon, clean it up. Get a Kleenex. Okay, fine. I literally bought like a whole bunch of packs from the dollar store. Okay. There we go. So they're saying like clean it up. They just told me there's something in your diet that you need to get out of your diet if you're getting headaches and you like eat something and then you get a headache. They're saying that that's not good for you. Sorry, I don't even know did I show you the card? Anyway, so there's something in your diet, group number 2, that you need to detox from. Let me ask them what it is. Well, it's probably going to be different for each one of you, but I'll try and get as much information as I can for the group of souls that are here watching group 2. Yeah, they're showing me like, it's like antibiotics and heavy metals and toxins that are in the injectables that they put into meat. So if you eat meat that is not exclusively like vaccine free or no hormones, like no added anything, they're saying that has gotten into the system and is causing headaches because it's building up in the tissues in your brain. Okay. Yeah, heavy metals they cause a lot of like severe mental health issues and stuff like that. I know from experience. Like ADHD is, okay, this is going to be such a controversial statement, but I have ADHD, so I can say it. ADHD is caused by heavy metals in the brain. And it's not like genetic in the sense that it's one particular gene. Like there's commonalities in the genes, but it's the heavy metals in the brain. So anyway, I won't go down that rabbit hole with you guys right now, but you guys need to detox specifically for heavy metals. And there's like heavy metal smoothies. The Medical Medium HMD smoothie is great. I highly recommend that. It helps a lot. Cilantro is really good for detoxing heavy metals. Yeah, it's going to help to reduce the headaches. So if you've been having like pressure in your head, it's going to help to reduce that, and it's going to help by clearing up your blood so that you're going to be actually able to connect to higher vibrational frequencies. So by detoxing your blood, detoxing your body, and detoxing from these chemicals in the food that you've consumed in the past, like it doesn't even have to be within the last like recent past, this could be like 10, 20, 30 years ago that you ate or consumed large amounts of very toxic meat or foods, like pesticide rich, I should say laden, not rich, like nutrient rich. Yeah, sure. But pesticide rich? No, it's like not a good thing. So yeah, they are recommending doing some kind of a detox. Now that's not like an intensive cleanse or anything like that. They're just saying like you can add in these detoxing foods to help to reduce those headaches, okay? That will end this repeating pattern of like this never-ending story. I'm also seeing hormone fluctuations. So you might be experiencing your hormones kind of going up and down, and then you get migraines or you get headaches or you feel really extra stressed. Like if you're not getting any physical symptoms, then it may just be emotional, like you're stressed, you're worried, you're constantly like exhausted and fatigued with everything that you have to juggle. Yeah, they're saying that the higher power is giving you the key here, but you really need to open that up. You need to unlock your pineal gland, is what they just said too, which is like physically in the brain. It's connected to the third eye chakra, but you can have like a fairly functioning third eye chakra and a blocked pineal gland, and then you're not going to be able to function well with the third eye energy. So clean up your pineal gland. I did just hear pituitary gland as well, but predominantly the pineal. And one of the best ways to do that is nascent iodine. Nascent iodine helps to decalcify the pineal gland from fluoride. So if you've been drinking a lot of fluoridated water, use fluoridated toothpaste, something like that, those can also be like the chemicals and heavy metals that they're talking about here that need to be detoxed out of the system. And nascent iodine specifically will help to clear up the third eye. And they keep repeating cilantro. So eat a lot of cilantro. Put it in your smoothies. Put it in your salads. Put it on your fish. They're showing me fish with cilantro on top. That's such a weird combo, but I don't eat fish, but okay, there you go. So, yeah, and just make sure, like, this is just a side note from me, not from Spirit, but make sure that if you're getting fish, that it's organic, it's not farm raised, and it's coming from a part of the ocean that wasn't affected by Fukushima. Hard to do, but anyway, or maybe from a lake that's nice and clean. So yeah, there's a lot to do with health here, group number 2. Let me get some coffee cup oracles. I'm just gonna clear that for some reason. Okay, I do feel that one. Oh, we got it. Oh, it's on the floor. It's on the floor. Okay. Whenever cards fall on the floor, it's always a sign that this needs to be grounded into your physical reality. So it's a very important message, and it needs to be physically applied. And the card that fell on the ground is stability and growth with the tree. Right? So what do you need to have stable growth? What do you need to heal? What do you need to feel grounded? Because if you, like, let me tell you from experience, if you are in your head and you are feeling unsafe and stressed and worried and you have a headache and things are building up and your body doesn't feel like a safe place to be, you're not going to be grounded. You're not going to feel stable, and then you're not going to be able to grow as a result of that. So what I'm seeing here is that to promote stable growth for yourself, they really want you to focus on cleaning up your environment, which could be your home, your body, and your food choices. Like everything that you are exposed to, your air quality, your food quality, your water quality, all of these main staples of human life, that is what they want you to focus on cleaning up so that you can really allow your higher self to come more into the body and express through you, because it's not a toxic environment full of stress and worry and pesticides and chemicals and metals and all of these negative things that are really weighing you down, both physically and metaphorically. You know, at soul level, they're weighing down your energy, they're weighing down your mind, and they're weighing down your body. And we have the scales. So it says justice and documents. Justice and documents. Ooh, they're showing me the heart of Ma'at, or the scales of Ma'at. So it's like the weighing of the heart against a feather. And it's like the lightness of the heart helps to get you into the afterlife or into that higher realm. So if we're looking at it like with, and I looked up and the time was 11:11 on the recording. Okay, so yeah, this is an activation. This is a higher power activation for you guys to lighten your being, which means raising your vibration. And some of that is physical. Like you can do all of the meditations and all of the energy downloads that you want, and it's not going to shift the physical gunk that is in the system. I can tell you that from experience of 7 years of trying to, really expand my consciousness and raise my vibration. And I have been successful in a lot of that, but there's only so far that you can take it beyond doing physical changes to the body. The body and the mind and the soul are all connected. So it's like this, the triquetra, is that what that's called? Or like the Celtic knot, where they're all tied together. And so you can't really raise one without raising the other. And if you raise one, it will positively impact the other. So if you clean up your body, it will help your soul and your mind function better. If you clean up your soul, it will help your mind and body function better. And the mind, same thing, soul and body. So it's like if you hit each point on that and you're doing all three, then you're really going to see balance happen. And this never-ending story that you've been stuck in, which does feel like a karmic loop, especially with the scales of justice here, never-ending story, this speaks to me of karma. So this is a karmic pattern, and karma is not necessarily good or bad. It's just actions that have resulted in outcomes. That's it. And so if you want to tip the scales and get your vibration back on a higher frequency, and have your body be in a healthier, stable, growth-oriented state, it is very much about grounding and detoxing physically. Yeah. And then supplementing that with third eye activations and meditations, de-stressing, grounding, all of that good stuff. You can add the spiritual aspect to it, but make sure that you're doing physical level stuff. And they just told me to get one more card from the Oracle, or the Coffee Cup Oracle here. Okay, there it is. It just flipped out. Pearl, hidden gem. There's a hidden gem. Ooh, my throat just made like it was like an air bubble went up in my throat. Okay, so hidden gem here, the pearl always reminds me of the third eye as well, because I know like Joan Dunning, she does third eye activations, and the visualization that she does in the walkthrough of those third eye activations is like this pearl coming down through the crown chakra and into the pineal gland. So again, we have a reference to the pineal gland, to the third eye, to energy activations. And so to integrate that and to have that actually applicable, you need to clean up the hardware, basically. Like, you can download new software, but if your hardware is broken and busted and like worn out, old, you need to upgrade the hardware so that your software can run properly. Okay, that's a very simple way of looking at it, but that's basically how it is. We can think about it as like your body is the iPhone, your mind is the software, and your soul is the person using the phone. Right? Okay. Very simplified, but okay. I hope that it makes sense. Yeah, I do. Well, they're telling me to get one of these ones. Okay, we'll get one of these ones too for you guys. We didn't do that for group 1. Yeah, 2. Okay. 2 for you, group 2. New world. Look at that. Wow. New world. So this never-ending story is going to end, and you're going to be in an entirely new world when you are fully functional. Is what they just said. Fully functional. And initiation. Yeah, I did feel that there was some kind of an initiation, because I did mention Joan Dunning, and she does like spiritual initiations, activations, stuff like that. So if you are called to get any of those, or I'm also an activator. So if you were drawn for the first time to this reading, or you were just drawn to me in general, if you're a subscriber here, I'm an activator. So that's like what I do unconsciously at soul level. If you look me in the eyes, or you listen to my voice, or you're like physically standing next to me, I'm activating you at soul level to awaken. And specifically, I'm an activator of the third eye. So, because that's what I do for a living. So if you guys want your third eye activated, good news is you're here and you're receiving that activation. I also have other activations on my shop on my website. It's tarotandbeyond.com, linked below. If you guys want to check those out, they can be helpful, but you don't necessarily need them. Just use your intuition to guide you. If you need it, or if you want it, I should say, go for it. If you don't feel like you need it right now, then you don't. But I feel like there's this whole new world that is opening up for you. And even though you feel like you're failing, group number 2, you're not. You just need the right circumstances and the right environment. And part of that is your body and your environment, and your physical environment in your home. If you can improve those things, these initiations, these software downloads are going to come in and actually be initiated. They're actually going to be integrated, and then they can be applied. So you can actually use the new tech, right? Okay, so let me see if there's any final closing messages that they want to let you know. Group number 2. Yeah, they're showing me the water tower in New World, so they want you to clean up your water. Make sure that you are using a filter. They just said Berkey filter. I don't even have a Berkey filter, but I know that the Berkey filters are pretty good, and they do filter fluoride out of the water. So, because Britas and stuff like that will not filter fluoride out of the water. And if you're drinking water straight from the tap without any filter at all, ooh, you got to stop that, because it's bad. Like, it's bad. You don't even want to know what's in there. So, I mean, not just like what they put in there, but I'm talking about like the pipes. It's dirty. It's dirty. Get that out of your system. Okay. Clean that up. And you'll see a whole new world emerge from that. A whole new world. It will be a revelation for you, group number 2, because You will finally be able to see clearly. You'll be able to think clearly. Like if you have brain fog, headaches, if you have epilepsy even, like if you have seizures and stuff, my God, you have a lot of heavy metals in your brain and you need to get those out. So that is what Spirit is really just wanting to drive home today. So I hope that that message can be useful and supportive of your growth, okay? So I'm sending you so much love, group number 2. I really am praying for you and sending you so much support energetically to end this cycle, because that's basically just what karma is. It's like a cycle. End this cycle, take back your power, clean up yourself and your environment, and enter into this new world where things are going to be a lot more balanced. You're going to have a lot more energy and focus, and you're going to really experience the value in your connection to the divine, is what they just said. Okay, so your connection to the divine will increase as you become more stable and you are clearer energetically and physically to be able to channel that information. All right, so that is what I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here, group number 2. I really appreciate your patience with me as I have been dealing with ADHD, anxiety, depression. My brain needed some help and support. So I'm doing neurofeedback and I'm detoxing and doing all these things as well. So I'm right there with you. And if you guys want to follow my ADHD journey, you can follow me on ADHD and Beyond, which is my other channel recently created as a place for me to vent and track my progress and stuff like that. So if you're interested, the link is below and it's also on the main page of my channel. Thank you so much for your subscribes, your likes, shares, comments, sending in decks and stuff like that. These are sent in by subscribers. Thank you for becoming members on the channel. For those of you who are members and support my work that way, I really appreciate it. And I love you guys. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, group 3. If you chose the late bloomer, what does it say? Knight of Rings, then this is your reading. So let's find out what is coming up for you. It's interesting, the swan and the duck. It's reminding me of like the ugly duckling, the late bloomer. You know, it's like you feel like you don't fit in, you feel like you're ugly or you don't belong, but really it's because you are something more and different than everything else that is around you. You know, you don't fit in because you're not meant to fit in, because you are special, because you're different. So let's find out some more information here from the wisdom of the oracle. What wisdom does the wisdom of the oracle have for you today, group number 3? Oh, wow. Imagine regeneration. Look at that tree. Beautiful. And by the book. Okay. Interesting messages. I feel like I need more information before I start kind of reading into these. So I'm going to go into the coffee cup oracle. Oh, and that's it. Or this one as well. Okay. They said you can take that one if you want to. We have old woman, sadness, and female. Okay. And we have birds, news, and messages. Let me hold it to the side. There we go. And bride, wife, engagement. Oh. Okay, I'm seeing some stuff here. Flowers, romance, and sweetness. Okay. So group number 3, I feel like you've kind of lived many different cycles of life is what they're showing me here. And you've transitioned from one state to another. You've gone through these growth cycles from like one age and one identity and like version of yourself. You know what I mean? Like from identifying with, oh, I'm a teenager and I like these things and this is who I am. And then you become a young adult and you're like not in high school anymore and you're like, oh, okay, now I'm this person and I'm doing this and this is who I am. And then you become, let's say like you get married and then you're like, oh, now I'm identifying as a wife or a husband or whatever. And you go through these different like life stages or phases, and you have to kind of change how you see yourself. You have to look at yourself differently because you're changing, and you can't really hold on to that old identity because it's physically morphing into something new. It's like Animorphs. You guys remember that show? Anyway, I feel like wife and engagement and sadness and female is kind of like going through this grieving process from one stage of life to the next. And each stage of life entering into the next stage does come with a death cycle, right? Like not physical death, but you have to address the fact that you're not that you're not that person that you were before, or you may be kind of contending with or reckoning with the process of physically aging. Like maybe you're starting to see wrinkles, or maybe you have a lot of wrinkles and you're like, oh my God, I still feel really young inside. But when I look in the mirror, I'm seeing someone completely different. Because when I looked at the Imagine card, what they actually showed me was the word image. And I had to look at it a couple of seconds to see that it actually says imagine, not image. So it's like you're having self-image changes, and where things have kind of died in a sense of the way that you see yourself, that there is room for regeneration here. That's the thing, is you kind of just have to trust the process of this new unfolding self that you're just unfamiliar with because you have not been in this life stage before. But there's beauty in every single stage, and I mean that both metaphorically and also literally. There is beauty, physical beauty, in every single iteration of your physical self. Your child self, your adolescent self, your teenage self, your young adult self, your middle-aged self, your old self. You are beautiful exactly as you are, or handsome if you're a man. So this is being more accepting of the natural stages and progression of life, and the aging process is kind of what I'm seeing here. And if you're at the beginning stages of this and you're not seeing yourself as the full-blown swan that you are, you're still in that like ugly duckling phase, I got to tell you that you will turn into a swan. You just have to give yourself time, and you have to recognize and see where your beauty actually is. And it's far beyond skin deep, but you can, of course, bloom and have a physical glow up as well. Okay. So just for reference, I was an ugly duckling. I was like a cute kid. And then I went through a real tough, awkward phase, like through puberty. It was like bad. And then I'll see if I have any pictures, I'll put them in here, because like, I don't even care. But like now, this is me now. And I'm like brunette Barbie. I'm not like, I swear I'm like not like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not like super overconfident in my looks. I'm really not. I'm actually still insecure, but I do enjoy beauty, and I like looking at beauty and admiring beauty in all its forms. And they're calling me to mention something here too. You know those aging apps, like the aging filters, and you can like put that filter on your face and see what you would look like when you're old. I feel like that might be a good exercise for you, group number 3. If you're young and you're worried about aging, like let's say you're like my age, like in your 30s or something like that, and you're worried about getting into your like 60s or 70s, or maybe you're in your 50s and you're worried about getting into like your 70s and 80s. Use one of those apps to see yourself as that future version of you, and look at the beauty that is there. Like look at the wisdom and all of the things that you've gained through these different stages of your life, and who you've become across that entire lifespan of your journey. That is like this perpetual regeneration that you're going through. It's like there's so many versions of you that have like burned to the ground, and then you were reborn from the ashes, and time again you go through these cycles, and you keep evolving as a person. And so you're not the same person that you were 5 years ago. You're not even the same person that you were 2 hours ago, because your body is physically constantly regenerating. They are also telling me that sadness ages you, okay? Like sadness and grief and stress and worry ages you. So if you can focus on the sweetness of life, it's actually going to rejuvenate your spirit, and it's going to help your body heal, because quite literally when you are happier, your brain releases neurotransmitters that help your body to function better. And so happy chemicals create a happy body. So quite literally speaking, if you can choose to see the optimistic side of this, if you can imagine a brighter brighter future where, yes, you've aged, but you're still beautiful and you're wise and you are, you've lived through so much and you wouldn't give up that maturity for anything in the world, then you will really have created that sense of security. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here is like development of your self-concept. That's what this is all about at soul level, because it's not even really about the body or your the changes that you're seeing in your life or even in your mindset. It's really like this process of understanding yourself and the transitions of life so that at soul level you can come to accept all of these different processes of regeneration. And when they're talking about by the book here, they're like doing it in alignment and going through these stages. And that's so funny. They just showed me Benjamin Button. Very interesting movie. You've probably seen it, but if you haven't, it is Brad Pitt aging in reverse. Like he's born as an old man and then he dies as a young man. It's really interesting. And I like that concept. And it's so cool what humans can imagine, right? Like what we can come up with creatively. So I feel like if you felt as though you are not where you want to be in life, financially or socially or something like that, like if you just don't feel like you are where you need to be at the certain age that you think that you need to be that, they want you to know that like just relax, open your mind and acknowledge all of the transformations that you've been through up until this point and how powerful all of that was. And also, if you feel like you are scared of moving into the next stage because you don't want to let go of the one that you're trying to kind of cling to, they're saying don't worry about that either. Trust your wings. You don't need to cling to the branch. That's what they just showed me here with the birds card. You don't need to cling to the branch because the branch was never you to begin with. So if you can just trust your wings to be able to transition and transform as you have and will continue to do, you will be able to engage with yourself in a new way. That's what they just showed me with Bride. It's like you'll be able to engage with yourself in a much more intimate way with more sweetness and more connection. And I think, especially with these cards here, I think that you're also going to see improvements in your connections to other people because your confidence will improve. You will feel better about your physical body. You will feel better about your development as a person. You will feel better about where you're at in life because you're not looking at it from what you think it should be, and instead you're looking at it and appreciating it for what it is, and all of the transformation and all of the development and all of the experiences, the very unique individual experiences that you've had in this life that have made you who you are, for better or for worse. They're all valuable because you are the product of that, really. So the more that you can embrace the transformation and regeneration, the more that you can embrace where you're currently at, even if it's not where you want to be, and look to the sweetness of life and appreciate yourself as you are. You're beautiful, group number 3. You are amazing. You are talented. You are exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it. Trust the process. There's a much larger plan at hand, and it will all make sense in the end. And if it doesn't make sense, you're not at the end. That's as simple as it gets, but that's what Spirit wanted you to know. So I think that this is a bit of a shorter reading for you guys, group number 3. I'm feeling like that sense of completion that I get at the end of readings. Let me just double check with Spirit and see if there's any other messages that they wanted to bring through for you. But I feel like it's, they're like, yeah, it's done. That's what we wanted to say. You guys are exactly where you need to be. Love yourself as you are. Appreciate this version of you, because just like all the other ones, it is fleeting, it is temporary, it is finite, but you are infinite. Embrace that, know that, be that. All right, so that's what I have for you guys today, group number 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your patience with me as I've been doing some mental health healing. If you guys want to follow my journey there, you can check out my other channel, ADHD and Beyond, which I just created as a source to vent and track my progress with my ADHD struggles. And if you guys want to see any particular readings, leave those in the comments below. Let me know how you guys are feeling about what we talked about here in the reading today. And otherwise, just have a wonderful, I was going to say like, have a wonderful rest of your day, but then I was almost going to be like, have a wonderful rest of your life. Not flippantly, like genuinely, like I want you guys to have a beautiful life and to embrace and enjoy every moment of it. Okay. And if you're still here, that's a special message just for you. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.